The new morpheme for this week, week 3, 3rd grade. Well, this is one of a few. This one is contra. It is a prefix. It has to do with against or opposite. If you see a word that has contra at the beginning, it always means something that's going against something else or opposite of something. So, you might have heard the word contraband. Contraband means something that has been illegally stolen or taken from somebody and then brought to somebody else. So this harmonica that I have here, if somebody had taken this harmonica from me and sold it to somebody else and I didn't know about it and I didn't agree for that to happen, this thing would be considered contraband. Stolen and sent to somebody else illegally. Yeah. Or if I were to contradict somebody, and that's like when you say something and then you say something else, it doesn't quite make sense. That's contradicting. So for example, I'm going to talk to my little sock puppet here. Hello. Yeah, hi sock puppet. So sock puppet, today's a really sunny day and I made sure to get outside and I hung out and played with my family and I loved it. Oh, well, I don't like going outside very much. It's too cold. Oh yeah, I don't really like going outside that much either because it's too cold outside. So I just stay inside. Hold on a second. You just said that you like going outside with your family. You just contradicted yourself. Am I right? That's right, yeah. Contradict. Okay, you know the drill. Grab a card and your pencil. Here's the front. The morpheme is contra. It is a prefix because it starts a word. It does mean against or opposite. So I circle those meanings to let me know, oh yeah, on the back of my card, the meanings are circled. And then I'm going to write my examples. Then we talked about a couple of them. The first one was that contraband, that harmonica. So, contraband, I'll write it here. And the other word that we had was, yep, you guessed it, contradict. And let's do a picture. Here's my little picture. I decided to draw a thief and he's running away, stealing some big bags of money. And he's going to go give that to somebody else because he stole it. Maybe he's going to steal it for himself and bring it somewhere else. Yeah, he's got the bags of contraband. That's right. He's taking it against somebody else's will, like he's stealing it from them, going against what they want. Maybe he robbed a bank or something. Okay, moving on to the next one. D. Anytime you see the prefix D, it's always going to mean to take away from or to remove something. Anything having to do with D-E, D. That's what you think of. That's the meaning. All right, this is a prefix again. So let's say that I was reading my precious book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the sock puppet came along and took it from me. That deprived me of my book. Took it away. Removed it from me. I'm now deprived of my precious book and I can't read it. That's a good example. Let's go ahead and start with that and then we'll come up with some more words with that prefix D. D. It's a prefix. It means away, from, or removed. Like that nasty sock puppet took my book away from me. Removed it from me. I'm circling the meanings, very important. I like to use different colors. I hope that you do too. And here's my little drawing. This was the deprive. I was deprived of my book, and I'm going to put a big circle around that book with a big slash through it, meaning no books allowed here. They've been taken away. No books. Deprived. There we go. Now, some other words that I'd like us to think about. Well, let's see. There's a word called debunk. If you were to debunk something, it means that you could prove that it's not true. Like you debunk a myth or something. And if you prove it's not true, then you're removing it from truth. Or you're taking it away from something that is true. You're debunking something. I'm hoping that you can come up with some other words that start with DE. Here's another one, destroy. Like if you were to destroy something, you'd break it and ruin it, wreck it. You've removed it from working. Taken it away. Doesn't work anymore. Just destroy. We're going to move on now to our third and final morpheme of the week. Remember, you don't have to show yours just like mine. You can come up with some other words and draw a picture for them. I chose to come up with the word deprive, and my picture works with that. You can use mine too if you want, but it's fun to be creative. Here we go, last one. Dis. 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 The prefix dis means not or apart. It can even mean opposite. So for example, did you know that some grown-ups, their job is to discover things that are buried in the ground? There's a long word for that. The profession is called archaeology. People that like to dig up fossils and relics and old treasures and bones of dinosaurs. So I've got something here that I'm digging, and I'm brushing the dirt off, and I'm chiseling, and oh my gosh, I just discovered a dinosaur fossil. Dis means not, right? This means not or apart or opposite. Well, the word discover, morpheme card. The word discover, as an example, well, what does it mean to cover something? To cover it up, like to hide it? Oh, that kind of, all right. Well, if this was covered up, it was hidden by dirt and rocks. So if I did not cover it, I discovered it. I found it and I uncovered it. Yeah, that works. All right. Now, let's come up with some other examples for the prefix morpheme dis. For example, some scientists like to dissect thing or dissect thing. The word is dissect, and it's spelled like this. And that means to break apart, like an animal or insect or something. To dissect something means to pull it apart and see what it looks like inside. It can be fun. Well, let me start with the stuff on top. We know that this is a prefix. We know that it means not or apart. To come apart. It even means opposite sometimes. So we know to discover means to not cover something up. That means to find something. We know dissect means to take apart. And how about this? If something or someone is disloyal, that's a good example too. Disloyal. that means they are not loyal. You wouldn't want to have someone disloyal as a friend because they could do you wrong. Family pets, like dogs, they are the opposite of disloyal. They are extremely loyal. Dogs are always loyal to their families. They're like man's best friend. Our dog, my puppy at home, is best friends with my son. And my wife and I are so happy that we have this puppy because she's like a best pal for our kid. All right, now, come up with your picture. Feel free to pause it right now. Do the picture on your own. Then you can check back at this one afterwards. So I chose to do a couple of different things. I chose to draw some tools that an archaeologist might need to discover ancient fossils. They would need a brush to wipe off the dust and dirt. They might use a wet sponge to try and wipe off some fossils also. Sometimes they'll use a hammer and chisel to delicately and gently chip away old rock and dirt and other debris to get to the fossils they need. Also, carpenters and people that like to build will use hammers and chisels to take things apart. So we got a couple of the meanings of dis in my picture. Have a great week. See you next time. Save these cards.